Welcome back to Business English Made Easy. Today's episode is all about why leading a job interview in English isn't just about asking questions, it's about representing your company and shaping the candidate's entire experience. So, David, why does this role matter so much?
That's a great point, Emma. According to the LinkedIn Talent Report, 83% of candidates say their interview experience can actually change their perception of a job or even the entire company. So, as an interviewer, you're not just evaluating them, they're evaluating you as well.
Exactly. And for those leading interviews in English as a second language, it's even more important to project professionalism, organization, and respect. Your confidence and clarity can make a big difference in attracting top talent.
And don't feel pressured to have perfect grammar or vocabulary. What matters most is using a clear structure and natural, effective phrases. We'll walk you through the process step by step, share some stories, and even throw in a little humor to keep it real.
Let's break down the structure of a professional interview in English. There are usually 4 stages. First, the warm-up and introductions. Second, a company and role overview. Third, questions for the candidate. And finally, closing the interview. Why is sticking to this structure so effective, David?
It helps both you and the candidate feel more comfortable and ensures that nothing gets missed. For the warm-up, you might say, "Hi, name. Thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?" Then introduce yourself and set a welcoming tone right from the start.
When it's time for the company overview, you could use, "Let me briefly tell you about our company and what we're looking for in this role." And for the candidate questions, try, "Can you tell me more about your previous role?" Or, "What's your biggest strength as a team member?"
To close, phrases like, "Thanks so much for your time today. We'll be in touch by day," or "Do you have any questions for us before we wrap up?" work well. Keeping language simple, natural, and clear helps set both sides up for success.
David, you once shared a story about a manager in Vietnam named Thao who was nervous to lead her first English interview. Can you tell our listeners how she overcame that challenge?
Absolutely, Emma. Thao felt anxious, but she prepared a list of go-to phrases, practiced in front of a mirror, and even recorded herself asking questions. This helped her get comfortable with the language and the flow of the interview.
And the feedback was amazing, right? The candidate told her she seemed so professional that they hadn't even realized English wasn't her first language. It really shows that preparation and practice matter more than perfection.
Exactly. If you're feeling nervous, try rehearsing with a colleague or even by yourself, using a sample script. Familiarity with the process helps you sound confident and natural, even if you make small mistakes.
Let's share some powerful phrases and tips for leading interviews in English. To buy yourself time, you might say, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second." Or, "Let's circle back to that in a moment." These help you stay composed if you need a second to respond.
To guide the interview smoothly, use phrases like, "Thanks for sharing that. Let's move on to the next topic." Or, "Let's talk about your experience with remote work now." Structure and transition signals keep the conversation focused and professional.
Here are a few do's and don'ts. Do smile and use a warm, approachable tone. Do give structure and guide the conversation clearly. Don't use slang or idioms that might confuse non-native speakers. And don't rush. Your speech clarity is key.
Also, remember that interviews are a two-way street. Candidates are evaluating you and the company too. So, being clear, respectful, and friendly not only helps you find the right person, but also leaves a strong impression of your organization.
Let's wrap up with some quick takeaways. You don't have to be a native English speaker to lead a great interview. Focus on structure opening, overview, cue, and closing. Use clear, friendly phrases and always practice out loud before the real thing.
Here's a concrete action step. Write down 3 interview questions that you'd feel confident asking in English. Then, practice them with a friend or colleague this week. This will help build your fluency and confidence in real situations.
And a quick teaser for next week, we're shifting gears to discuss how to write a strong follow-up email in English after meetings, interviews, and networking events. That episode will be packed with tips you can use right away.
Make sure to follow our podcast, leave us a review, and share this episode with anyone who's interviewing soon. Thanks for joining us on Business English Made Easy. Keep leading, keep learning, and we'll catch you next week.